Good, how are you, Doug?
I'm good.
I don't think I've seen you in a while.
Will it be Spencer Sunday?
I think so, yeah.
What is the latest with Derek Carr and like?
I think he's in the process of going through the progression and throwing. I don't know that he'll be ready for Sunday, but we'll keep going throughout the week and see where we're at.
How was Mark Willis?
I thought he did some nice things. He's obviously a bigger receiver, he runs really well. I think we'll kind of evaluate the practice and how well he's picking things up and see how quickly he can learn.
Fairly obvious question, but how good was it to see some of the guys,
Yeah, it was good to see some of these guys back out, at least in some form of practice, in a limited form. But yeah, I think we had several guys that were back out there, at least participating in some form or fashion.
Dennis, can you just get into signing Alvin to the extension and what he means to the organization?
Yeah, look, I mean, Alvin's been, a great player for us. He's been very productive for us. I think this year he's been outstanding. I mean, he's come in every day and gone to work and done the things that we've asked him to do. And so I think when you do those things, you get rewarded.
There's a lot of, you often hear of guys disgruntled in a contract situation and it becomes like a big problem. From day one of training camp, he clearly said it wasn't going to be, and clearly by performance, it's not. I mean, that is kind of special in your business that somebody is able to act the right way through this kind of thing.
I think he handled it the right way. I don't think there was ever a question of whether we wanted Alvin to be here or not. I don't think there was ever a question whether Alvin wanted to be here or not. There's a business side of it and a business aspect to it, and so I think he handled it the right way. He came in, did his job, did the things he was supposed to do, and finally the business side made sense on both sides, and we were able to get something done.
So, for Derek, unlikely to practice at all this week, or?
Yeah, I think we're just going to take him day by day and see where he's at. But he wasn't ready to go today. We'll see where he's at tomorrow.
What are some of the things that stand out about the Chargers?
Well, look, I think they're obviously a very physical team. They play a physical brand of football in all three phases. I think defensively they've done a good job of minimizing points, keeping everything in front of them. They tackle really well. They play hard. They got a couple of edge pressure guys that can get after the quarterback. I think they, interior, they're pretty stout in the run game. So I think those are the things they're doing well. Defensively, offensively, I think they've been able to run the ball, pretty effectively. Looks like the quarterback's getting healthy, threw the ball really well last week, on Monday night against Arizona. So, I just think they're well coached. They got good schemes. They execute at a high level. And so I think they're playing pretty well.
You had talked Thursday night about guys getting away and sort of getting a mental refresh. Do you see any evidence that happened, now that you're back at practice?
Yeah, I think there was a little energy back out there today, and, we're going to need that again tomorrow, and, hopefully that'll continue throughout the week, and we'll have that on Sunday in L.A.
For the timing of Alvin's contract, does it do anything for the group that, a 5-game losing streak, guy gets paid? Does it have an impact on the locker room?
It's hard for me to answer that question, I mean, I think, it just goes to show that, when guys come in and they do what they're asked to do, and they perform, then they tend to get rewarded for that. And I think in his particular, situation, his circumstance, for him to come in and go through all of training camp and then play the way he has, this early part of the season, I think, is a credit to him.
For Spencer, obviously the first two games came very close together. How valuable is this kind of extended break?
I think it's valuable for a lot of guys. A, we're going to get some guys back, and B, you get a chance to kind of, sit back and reevaluate, those last couple of games and what you did well, what you need to improve on, and that's everybody, coaches, players, everybody, and get ready for the next one.
Has there been any concern about, I guess, keeping Spencer's confidence up to, maybe a difficult few weeks to start off his career, or does his personality kind of?
I think he handles that stuff pretty well, I don't think he lets a lot of stuff get to him too much. And like I said, look, there's been some bright spots in the things that he's done. And yet there's things that he has to improve on, which is to be expected, for any rookie, and in particular a guy that's playing the quarterback position. And so, and look, he's he's thrust into a little bit of a difficult situation with, a lot of guys on, up front that were banged up and down, and last game, missing the 2 starting receivers. So, but I think, overall, I think he's done some good things, and I'm excited about, seeing him operate, and in particular, hopefully with, maybe getting some guys back.
I guess I just meant in the sense of, you're always hard on yourself, right? So as a rookie, I didn't know if you ever have to, like, as a coach, say, like, I don't know, you're doing fine or whatnot, or
Yeah,
he just has a personality that he just kind of moves
Yeah, look,
on.
I mean, obviously, you got to coach him. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes that's encouraging, sometimes that's hard coaching. I think there's a little bit all that goes along with that. Well, look, I don't know that there's another player in this league that's like him, that can do all the different things that he can do. And so I know it's troubling for a defense to, have to prepare for him. And so hopefully, he'll be able to be out there on Sunday and be effective and help us play good offense.
Kind of similar question, but what did y'all miss about season one? What is the offense?
Well, look, I mean, I think he's got experience. Like I said, earlier in the year, we kind of had 2 spots starting this season off that we felt, pretty good about on the offensive line. And then to lose, both of those guys, him and Eric, for an extended period of time, I think was a challenge for us. So getting him back in, getting him acclimated, getting him back working, I think, hopefully that'll help us in terms of protection. Hopefully that'll help us in terms of, the run game. But look, I think Caesar's a good player, and anytime you get a good player back, it helps.
I know it's like next man up, and no one likes to talk about injuries or anything like that, but like getting these guys back on the field, how much can that improve or affect the product on the field and what you guys can do?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, getting guys back that, you planned on being starters, you planned on counting on, and in particular, some of these guys are kind of key cogs in what we do, offensively. And so, hopefully we're able to get, majority of these guys back and be more consistent offensively. Like I said, we've done some good things. We've moved the ball at times, but then we've made some critical mistakes that, have cost us. So hopefully that'll help us, be better.
Defensively, does Pete Warner make a big impact in run defense and, whatever?
I think Pete Warner makes a big impact in a lot of things that we do. I mean, his intelligence, his communication skills, I think, those are all good qualities that he has that I think, is going to help our defense.
With Alvin's extension and the trade deadline's like a little less than 2 weeks away, is this a sign that, you don't want players worrying about, or is this a sign that you guys don't intend to sell? And
Yeah, I don't think we have any intention to do that. We have intention to play better football.
Last year, I believe it was only we didn't practice all week and still played. Just based on how that went and how you got to know Derek, are you still comfortable with that?
Well, look, I think we're kind of living in the hypothetical a little bit there, so it's hard to say. But I mean, look, the first thing we got to do is get him to a point where we feel like he's healthy enough to play a football game and be effective, and then we'll make decisions on what we do once we get him to that spot.
I guess they'll be preparing mentally as if he would play this week.
Yeah, I think that's the plan every week. You know what I mean? Like, you got to prepare every week as if you're going to go in and play.
has he still been able to throw, just presume like his normal?
He's been in the throwing progression with the trainers, and that's where he's at.
Are you able to say anything more about Chris's progress? Or is it still?
No, other than he's in the protocol, limited practice today, and so we'll keep going through those steps. All right, guys.